Hello everyone, this is Akash here from blendersq.cf, and in this Blender tutorial I'm going to show you how to create this fog on glass scene with this text in Blender. So we're going to use Blender version 2.76 and the Cycles render engine for this, and you can use this effect to just create some text effect, or you can convey a message, or just add it to your portfolio to make it look better. So you can do a whole lot of things with this, and it really looks good. So we're going to create this Blender, so let's get started with this. So let's open up a new scene in Blender. So start by deleting the cube by pressing X and then delete, because we don't want the cube. And then let's add in the glass. So for the glass I'm going to use a plane. So to add in a plane, press Shift A, Mesh, Plane. So this is the plane. I'm going to close this tools by pressing T and close this timeline also. I'm going to drag out this panel to view more properties. Okay, so now we have a scene ready. Now let's rotate our plane or the glass by pressing R, then X, then 90, and enter. Now let's scale by pressing S, then 1.5, then enter. Now we can press S and then X just to make it a bit rectangular, and that's fine. So now we have our plane ready, or the glass ready, and let's move it above the grid floor by pressing G and then Z. And then just drag it so it's above the grid floor. Okay, so now it's above the grid floor. I'm just gonna change outliner over here to be the UV image editor, and let's unwrap this plane. So before unwrapping it, apply the scale and the rotation of this mesh. So press Ctrl A and select rotation and scale, and then come in the edit mode and then press U, unwrap. As you can see, we have got a rectangular unwrap, but we want a square one. So again press U and then select reset. So now we have a square unwrapped plane now. So it's important that the mapping is square, otherwise later on when we add in all our textures and during the materials, the textures won't look good and it won't look good later on. So it's important that all your unwrapping now is just fine. So I guess it's fine for me. I can come out here the edit mode by pressing tab. Let's delete the lamp by selecting it and press X and then delete. So now we have deleted a lamp, but now we need some lamp so that emits light. So we'll use a plain lamp for that. So press Shift A, Mesh, Plane. Scale it by pressing S, then scale it, just drag it like that, and press G, Z, and just move it above the original plane. Rotate it by pressing R, then X, and just rotate it. Just gonna move it using this green arrow over here. So move it up a bit more. It's fine. Okay, so that's fine. Now let's come in the materials tab and then click new and change this blended render to be the Cycles render engine. Change the surface type to be emission, so it emits light. And I'm going to change strength to be 2, and then we can also give it a slight orangish color, because though it's a rainy day, when the person who sees your render will like when it's a bit warm. Okay, so though it's a pretty cold day, but still it will look good later on. I'm going to change the world's color also to be black, so that our world doesn't emit any light. Okay, so now we have our lamp, our glass without any material load. Let's import in our background. So the background is gonna be the city. Now you can see the city through the text or the glass in this image, and we can't just model the entire city, though it's not visible. So we are just gonna use an image for that. So I'm gonna come back to Blender, and then to import an image, it's a good idea to use the add-on called Import Images as Planes add-on. So in the user preferences and in the add-ons tab, I'm gonna type here images. So you should find this Import Images as Planes add-on. Just check it, and then press Shift A, Mesh, Images as Planes. So if you want this image, you can download this. It's a city image, and you can download this. I'll leave a link in the description from where you can download this. And just select this and then change this material over here to be emission. Then click on Import Images Planes. So now we have our image imported. So you can see it's rectangular, that means it's the correct size of the image. So that's fine. And just come in the materials, and you can see over here in this image texture there's something called light path is camera. We don't want that. You just select it, scroll up and just click on this remove, so it removes that node. Okay, let's come into rendered. As you can see, we have a city. I'm gonna scale it, but before that let's rotate by pressing R, then X, then 90, then RX 90. Yeah, that's fine. Scale by pressing S, make it big. It's nice. And let's move it a bit away from the plane, just a bit up. Okay, that should be fine. Now let's position the camera. So come in the camera view by using the view menu, and then press N to bring up the properties, and then check lock camera to view. So now we can easily position our camera. We don't want to see any other part than the plane. We just want to see this glass and not the world or any other thing. So make sure that it's only focusing on the plane. So I guess this much is fine, it should be fine. And then now let's uncheck lock camera to view. Now we can work with plane now. So I'm gonna also check border rendering so that I don't have to render the entire scene, which is not even gonna be rendered in the final scene. So let's change this to be node editor over here. So now we can get into the materials with for the plane or the glass. So I'm gonna come in the node editor and I'm gonna click new to add in a new material. Default is diffuse. We don't want diffuse. We want we want glass. Okay, it's glass, so we want it to look like glass. So press Shift A, shader, select glass. Actually no, though we are creating glass, we'll use glossy, and I'm gonna tell you why in a sec. So just put in glossy over here and then just decrease this roughness to be 0. As you can see, it's properly reflecting the city plane which is in front of the this plane or the glass. So as you can see, we can see this black world around it. That means the city is not properly positioned. So select this plane, which is a city plane, and then I'm going to come in the camera view and then rendered, and then using G, then move it a bit like that, and then I'm going to scale it also because it's too small. Let's make it a bit more bigger. We don't want to see the world, we want to see only the city. I'm going to move it a bit down also, so that's fine. I don't want to see that black world over there. I guess this much is fine. Okay, so you know, experiment that, and I guess now the only thing which is seen through this camera is city. So that's nice, and now we can again continue with the material. So I have chosen glossy shader, and before I used glass, but I didn't get good results as compared to glossy, so we're going to use glossy. Okay, so let's start. So if we increase this glossy roughness, as you can see, the reflections are a bit more blurred. If you keep it to be 0.025, you can see it looks as if it's like frosted piece of glass, and that's actually nice. It kind of looks like fog, but it's not fog. So as you can see, if we use this, it's nice, but if we use glass, it's not going to be that cool. So if I add in a glass shader, which we don't want, but I'm just going to show it to you. As you can see, first thing is it's not reflecting any light, and then the roughness and the index of refraction, it's not going to work that great. So I'm going to use glossy, and later on it's not actually going to look as if it's a mirror or something. It's going to look like glass itself, so that's fine. We'll use glossy. Okay, so now this roughness acts as if it's the fog. Okay, so now we need to control this roughness and then tell Blender that which parts are like fully rough or a bit less rough, and then which are completely like mirror or zero roughness. So we can do that with the help of a few textures and the mask. So the first texture you want is your text itself. The text in my case is this one, which I created using Photoshop, and I'm going to quickly show you how to do that. You don't have to use Photoshop, you can use Paint, Blender, or any other image editing software. It's really simple, it's just text. So let's just quickly create this. I'm going to open up Photoshop and let's create a new image. So file, new, and then I'm going to use in pixels 720 pixels and width 720 pixels width, and then 576 height. That's fine, and I'm gonna click on OK. So it's done. Click on this text tool right here so that we can write a text. So I'm gonna write it. You can write any message, but make sure your message is short. And as you can see, I've written love. It has only 4 letters. If you write big sentences, and it's not gonna look good, and the person who sees your render won't be able to understand what you have written. So it's a good idea to use some few small messages or few letters word. Okay, and also the font matters in this kind of scene. As you can see, I have used a very bold font for my effect. If you use some thin font, then the person can't see the text properly. It will be just merged with that font. And also you want some font which has got this rough edges. So as you can see, the font which I'm using has got this rough edges, and this is important. You can use a liquify tool and all those stuff, but I guess it's much easier if you have it the font itself. So the font which I found, which works very nice with which is the best font I guess for the scene, is Jack Lantern BB. So you can use this. I'll leave a link in the description from where you can download this. So I've just typed in my text, and let's press Control T, and then hold down Shift, and then just drag it so it's big. So it's big enough, and I'll just place it over here and click on this check mark. Now we need a small graphic or some small shape over here. Luckily Photoshop has a custom shape tool, so we can quickly select the shape which we want, and I found a heart over here which was good. So it's pretty simple for me. I'm just gonna draw in a heart really quick like that. It's fine, and then I'm gonna fill it with black color. I'm gonna change this layer, which is the layer of this heart, to a smart object, so that now we can easily rotate it and do all those things. I'm gonna rotate it a bit, scale it a bit, that, and then position it here and check. Okay, that's fine. I'll just reposition this text also a bit. Let's make it a bit more bigger. I guess it's small. Okay, that's fine. So once you have done this, you can just save this as a PNG. So file save as. Let me just save it as a PNG. Okay, that's done. So that's done. Now we're gonna come back to Blender and then use that image as a mask, so that Blender controls the parts which are black as 0 roughness and the parts which are white as full roughness. So to add in that image, add in an image texture node. So press Shift A, texture, then image texture. Place it over here for now, and connect this color to be the roughness. Change this color to be non-color data, and then click on this open button. Then you can open your image. So I have my mask ready. You can use this image. Then as you can see, we have the roughness. We can see the effect of the image now. As you can see, the text, which was black in color, has got this nice 0 reflection. You can properly see the city through it, but the other parts are completely rough, and it looks as if it's just a simple diffuse shade. It's not looking good now, but we are going to make it look better. And make sure the text and the graphic has black color and the background is white, because if you use some other colors, then Blender won't understand, and then you may not get some good results. So these are a few precautions which you should take. And now we can start with the other textures, so that we can get a bit more nicer roughness and a bit more nice fall. So now remove this connection between the image texture node, and we're just going to place it away for now. Now I'm going to press Shift D, duplicate this node, and then we're going to load in a texture which is going to act as those lines which appear on the surface of the glass after rain. So if I show you a reference image, so as you can see, the fog is there, but after rain, some water droplets have created these lines on the surface of the glass, and this is important. If we just don't add this, it's going to look as if it's some frosted piece of glass, and it's not going to look good, because nature is very random, and it should look random. Okay, so we can just load in that image as well. So I'm going to click on open, and then this one is the image which I found from textures.com. It's the grunge map 0043_1. So if you want, you can download this. I'll leave a link in the description from where you can download this, and then select and then open image. I just plug this straight away in the roughness. As you can see, I have got this subtle lines on this, and it's nice. And now we need to control these lines and the intensity of the texture. So how can we do that? Well, you can use a math node, you can use a color ramp, but I like to use color ramp. So I'm going to add in a color ramp by pressing Shift A, converter, color ramp. Just going to place it over here, and now I can control it. So if I increase this black bar over here, if I just move it near white, as you can see, I can see the city more properly now, but I don't want it to be zero roughness over there, so I'm gonna make it to be gray. So it has some roughness, like such, should be fine. Decrease it a bit, darker, and that's fine. Okay, so that's fine. So now we are done with the grunge map. Now we need a few fake water droplets also. So let's add in a few water droplets also using a texture. So I'm going to duplicate the image texture node, click on open, and this one is also from textures.com. it's platter colored 0004 underscore 1. So you can download this also, and make sure it's non-color data for both of them, and then we can use a color ramp node for this one as well. I'm just going to search for it, and then I'm going to connect this color to be FAC of color ramp. And we need to mix both these color ramp nodes by using a mix node. So press Shift A, color, mix RGB, then just connect these to the mix node, and then change the type to be multiply and FAC to be 1. Okay, so also I'm gonna enable an add-on called Node Wrangler, which is gonna help us to see the result of the intensity of all the textures now. So if I just press Ctrl Shift and left click on this color ramp node, as you can see, I can have a preview of this platter colored texture after going through the color ramp node. So this one I'm gonna just move it a bit over here and change this color to be gray, some darkish gray color. Should be fine enough. And let's see how it looks after multiplying. It's looking good itself. Yep, it's fine. The next thing which we want to do is we want to control this the intensity of the map coming out from this multiply node also. So I'm going to add in one more color ramp. Shift A, converter, color ramp, place it here, and I can see I can control the intensity of this one as well. So this one I'm going to move it over black, let it be here. We move the white over here, and I'm going to change this to be a grayish color. Okay, and that I'm going to put it over here, and then this one. So that now we have some sharp. Yeah, that's nice. That's fine. Let's see. So as you can see, we have got some subtle distortions on the surface of the glass. Some parts are more rough, some parts are very less rough, and that's what we wanted. It's looking good now. As you can see, some droplets also, and that's nice now. It's looking good. I'm making this a bit more lighter now. It's, I guess, too dark. Yeah, that's fine. That's cool now. So once when you have done this, we need another texture. So this one is gonna be the noise texture, and this one is gonna actually randomize the colors or the intensity of the texture a bit. So I'm gonna add in a noise texture by pressing Shift A, texture, and then noise texture. Place it over here, and then now we need to mix this with the color ramp. So I'm gonna select this multiply node here, or the mix node, and then press Shift D and place it over here so that we can mix a noise texture. So put FAC to the multiply node, and then we can control the intensity by changing this FAC value. So I'm gonna put 0.7. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so that's even more better now. And now we can finally mix a mask or the text with the with these textures now. So that's pretty easy. Again, we can Shift D, this multiply node, and then put this in the bottom input, and then change this to be 1. So now we have mixed our text with the roughness and stuff. It's looking good now. You can properly see the text in the glass now. It's looking good now. Okay, so now we need to control the intensity a bit more. So I'm going to use a math node this time. So press Shift A, converter, math. it over here. Then we can change this value to be 1.3, and then change this type to be multiply. Okay, that's fine. So the other parts are a bit more rough, and that's nice. That's looking good now. Okay, and then now what else can we do? We can also add in few bumps on the surface of the glass, because if you see my final render, you can see the few subtle bumps, and it looks as if those are some water droplets which are sticking on the surface of the glass, and that's actually looking good. That's important, because if we don't do that, it's still gonna look as if it's some frosted glass and it just contains some text on it. It's not looking so natural. So we need some bumps on the surface of our plane or the glass. So to do that, we can use the bumps or these textures over here itself. So these textures are gonna also act as the bump map. So just keep it over there. I'm gonna duplicate this multiply node by pressing Shift D, and then we can connect this color ramp node to the multiply node, and then this one to be the displacement. Once we have done that, you can see this horrible displacement on the surface of the glass, but we can control the strength now using this value of the multiply node. Okay, so now I can decrease this. So I found that the value of 0.005 should look good enough. As you can see, the reflections are a bit distorted on the surface, and that's actually looking pretty good. Can make it a bit more, a bit 0.01. That's fine. That's actually looking good now. Okay, that's done, and I guess the other parts are a bit more rough, so I'm gonna make this a bit more darker. Actually, I guess it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Now, as you can see, we have done so many things, but still we can't properly read our text. So a few reasons are that the default color management of the colors of the scene is not actually working for the scene. We need to change them, and also we need to reposition the city a bit. So I'm going to select it. I'll come in the camera view, and then I'm going to push it a bit more on top. So we have those dark areas in view. So I'm just going to move it a bit. It should be kind of fine. Let's move it a bit more. I guess the text is a bit up in the mask, so we can edit it a bit. So I'll just move this a bit more down, or I can use my default map. If you want, you can download this map. So let me try using the default map itself. So we'll use this mask which I created before, which I use in my final render as well. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. And then we need to change the colors of the scene also. So come in the scene tab, come down, and then open this color management section, and then change this view to be film. And then as you can see now we can properly see our text. We can even control it by decreasing this exposure a bit. Okay, so now as you can see, we can now actually see what is written on the surface of the glass. I'm gonna make it a bit more rough by decreasing the colors a bit over here, like such. Let's see how this looks now. It's fine. Let me make it a bit darker. It's fine. Should be fine now. Let's see how it looks now. The final one. Okay, so as you can see, the text is readable now, and we can make it even better later in the compositor. So it's fine for now, and yeah, I'll just increase the exposure value a bit, because I want to show the light also, and that's actually looking nice now. One thing which I want to change is just change this city background a bit more. So I'm going to move it a bit up. Yeah, that's fine. That's nice. And I think this lamp is a bit too down. I'm going to move it a bit up. Should be fine. That's actually nice now. Okay, so that's fine now. And now we can head to the next part of this tutorial by adding in the droplets on the surface of the glass. So obviously I'm sure you know by now that we are gonna add in the droplets also. So as you can see, this is some other reference image. So you can see the droplets on the glass. Without droplets, you can't tell that it's rain. And we are using droplets, we are using subtle bumps, but still those subtle fake bumps are not gonna make it look as if it's a real rainwater. So we need to actually create or use some particles as raindrops, which are gonna stick on the surface of the of the plane or the glass. So you can do that by manually modeling some droplets by adding an icosphere. Okay, so I'm going to add an icosphere, move it to the second layer, see M and then 2, and I'm just gonna unsubdivide. It's fine for now, let's keep it like that, and select one vertex and press O to enable proportional editing. Gonna come in the top and orthographic, I'm just gonna make it flat from the base, so that should be fine. And now we can distort it from the other sides as well, so it should be pretty much distorted. Don't make it very very circular, because obviously rainwater is not so not so sharp or not so uniform, so we can make it random from any corner. That's fine. You shouldn't be very neat about this also, so I'm just that's fine. It's not looking too good now. It's okay. We can press shift D to duplicate it, and we can create a few more drops. So I'm gonna quickly model them up a bit. If you want, you can download the droplets file. I have it as a particle system ready, so if you are a bit lazy and if you want to directly append in the file, you can download the droplets file. I'll leave a link in the description and you can use it. But I recommend you model a few droplets on your own also, as it's a nice experience of modeling droplets also, so it's okay. I quickly do it. It's fine. I'm just gonna make this like that. I guess that's fine. Okay, we're gonna have 3 droplets for now, and it's okay, because these droplets are gonna be very very small. So let's create a material for them now. So I'm gonna click on new and just name it droplets. Yep. And over here in the node editor, I'm gonna add in a mix shader node. Shift A, shader, mix shader, and then delete this diffuse. Add in a glossy shader, connect it over here. Add in a transparent shader also, and then connect it to the top input. And let's see how it looks like. We don't want any roughness. We don't want much roughness. We want it to be around 0.02. Should be fine. And decrease this FAC to be around about 0.3. Okay, that should be fine. You can't see anything now, so I'm just gonna select all of them and then press Ctrl L, materials. So now all of them should have the droplets material. Now select all these icospheres and then press Ctrl G to create a group. Name this group droplets. That's done. Okay, so now I come in the camera view now, and then now we can move to the particle settings. So I'm going to click new and change this type to be hair. Check advanced, then faces is fine. It's fine. And now come down over here in the render, change this to be group and then droplets. As you can see, there are some problems with the rotation and stuff. I guess rotation is fine. Yeah, it's fine. I guess the surface, like we don't want this to be in this face of this plane. We want it to face in the other side, so just flip the normal. So come in the edit mode of the plane, press W and select flip normals. So now our droplets are facing the other way. It's fine. I'm going to decrease the size a bit. I'll decrease it a lot. So 0.005. Let's see how it looks like. 0.001, 0.002. Let's see. That's fine. We can increase this random size also. Should be fine. That's fine. And then we can add in a texture over here. So open up this textures and click on new, try a new texture, and we're going to use a Voronoi texture for this. So I'm going to select Voronoi and uncheck time, check length. That's fine now. That's actually good now. Okay, that's done. And now we can come into rendered and just have a look at how it looks like. So it's looking pretty good now. We have some real droplets now, and the bumps on the surface of the glass also is a bit more realistic. So it's important that you use these droplets as it is important for any rainy kind of scene. So it's good now. So we're pretty much done with the scene now. We can move into the compositor. But before that, I want to change a few things as I want it to look good till the end. So let's see what else can we do. We can actually move the map a bit down, a bit up, so that no, that's okay. We don't fiddle with the map at all because it may not give you some good results later on. Let's move this city a bit up. Let's scale the city also a bit because it's too small, I believe, for now. Wait, I can't even actually see through that camera, so we can scale that. Let's see. That's too big now. Oh well, let's just again experiment with the settings. That's better, but let's see what else can we do. We need to move this a bit more up. Scale it a bit down. Why is this value so sensitive from the angle of camera? I'm just not going like this. And it's 30 minutes in the tutorial. I guess that's a long tutorial, and by the way, this is my first tutorial in this new year 2016, so I hope it's good. And so I guess that's fine for now. And then I'm gonna save my project by pressing Ctrl S, and I'm gonna save it. Yep, that's done. Now we can render this scene. So before that, I'm gonna open the sampling and change the samples to be 250 so that we have some nice clean render. Then I'm gonna change a bit of this exposure as well. Let's see what else can I do. I'm holding down shift and just dragging so we can actually see what we are doing. That's actually fine, I guess, that value. We can increase the gamma a bit. So it's actually nice, you can use the curve. I'm decreasing the gamma here. Yeah, the gamma can be decreased. That's fine. You can use some curves if you want to go to a bit more advanced advanced color management, but I think it's fine for now. So that's done. Let's save it by pressing Ctrl S and then hit render. So this is going to render our image, and we're going to be back once it's done rendering, and then we'll move into the compositor, and then we're going to do a whole lot of things with the compositor as well. So the rendering has finished and it's looking good. I'm happy with the result, but a few things which I wanted to tell you was that this area, I don't know why I can see this black area over here. I guess that's the wall, so the plane or the city plane, I guess it's 2 up, so it's black over here. And apart from that, I guess it's looking pretty good. Now why are these black dots? I don't know what are those, but I don't know, that wasn't that my final render, I guess. Yeah, that wasn't. I don't know what is that. Probably you should change some settings with those color ramp and stuff. But I'm sure but I'm still happy with the result now. So now we can move it into compositor to make it look more awesome. So let's change to be the node editor and render layers, and then check use nodes. Hide this panel. Okay, let's focus only on post processing. Okay, so I'm just gonna add in a viewer node by pressing Ctrl Shift and left clicking on the render layer node, and check backdrop so we can see our render. Okay, so first thing is to decrease the brightness of those parts which are very bright in the scene. So we can do that by pressing Shift A and then yeah, it's still not decreased. Okay, we'll add in some nodes so that we can decrease that. So press Shift A for that, a converter and map. So you can place it over here, and I'm going to remove the connection from this composite. We don't want to do anything with this composite. I'm just going to add in all the nodes to this viewer node and the render layer. So all those nodes in the middle. Change this type to be greater than, and then we can increase this value so we can get the bright parts of our render. So I guess 0.6, we can see the bright part, which is the lamp or the light by the lamp. This is the bright area, and now we can use this as the mask to separate out this part from our real image. So from the real render. So let's add in a mix node for that. So press Shift A, color and then mix. Place it over here, then take this connection to the FAC, and then from the image it should be, I guess, the bottom input, yeah, and the color to be black. Okay, so now we have the original image, or the part of the image which is bright. Let's blur this first. So press Shift A and filter and then blur. Add in a blur node. Place over here, then change to be fast Gaussian. Check relative X and 2%, 2%. I guess that should be fine. Let's see how it looks. That's fine. Let's mix it with this original image. So press Shift D, and then Shift D for this mix node, so we can duplicate it, and then add in this one over here. Then check screen. Just change the title screen, so now we can mix both of the images. Okay, and then now we can decrease the brightness by adding an RGB curve now. So press Shift A, color, RGB curves. Decrease this. Okay, that's fine. I guess that's fine. And let's again mix it with the final image. So I'm gonna copy this screen or duplicate it by pressing Shift D, place it over here, and finally take this image to be at the top input. Now we can control the strength of that overlay by decreasing this FAC. So I guess this much should be fine. I guess I used 0.24 in my final render, so I'll use 0.2. Let's see, 0.3, 0.5. Let's use 0.5. It's fine. That's now that's looking much better. And you may be wondering, it's pretty similar. And if we just see, it's not similar. It's a bit different. We have added subtle glow to that, and that's looking much better now. Okay, so this much was by using the original Blender nodes. Now we're going to use the photo editing nodes pack to quickly complete the post-processing. So I'm going to append in the pack by going to the file, then append, and then open photo editing nodes.blend file. Select node tree, press A to select all of them, and then click on append from library. Now we have our nodes appended in our scene. Let's add in those by pressing Shift A and now go to group, and these are the new nodes which come with the photo editing nodes pack. If you want to download this, you can click the link in the description, and from there you can download it. So let's start by adding a temperature node. So Shift A, group, temperature, place it over here, and then remember we changed the color to be a bit yellowish for the emission plane. I hope you remember. So that was to ensure that it's warm, but now we need to make it cool because it's a rainy day, and after rain it generally becomes cold. So decrease the warm to be 0, and then now we can decrease this coolness a bit. So, I guess around about 0.3 should be fine. Let's use 0.3, and that has made the bottom part much cooler while the top part is still a bit warm. So that gives us a nice complementary color effect, and that's actually making it look really good. And now we can properly see our text also. So that's one important node for this post-processing scene, post-processing part. So I press Shift A and group. Now we can add in focus node just to add some focus. We can change the size and the blur to be 2 so that the focus is the blur is generally at the corners. Then we can add in a vignette finally. So Shift A, group, vignette, and then these 3 nodes are in the pack. So it's really simple. It has made it really simple for us to composite the scene. So that's fine. I guess we need to decrease the opacity a bit. Let's make it 0.2. Let's see, 0.2. That's fine, I guess, because that's too subtle. Yeah, so subtle. Let's use 0.3. Let's try 0.3. It should look good now. That's nice. Some parts are a bit dark. Let's use 0.5 or 0.4. Let's use 0.4 and see. Yeah, that's fine. That's pretty much it with the tutorial, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. It was a pretty long one, and actually the result is pretty cool also. So once you have done all these things, you can just connect this final image from the vignette node to the composite node. That's done, and this is the final render now. So I'm gonna come out, open up UV image editor, and then change to be viewer node. So this is our final render, and I like it, and it's pretty similar to my final result, as you can see, which I got. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess the brightness is way too low for this one, so I can control that using the RGB curves node. And I hope you all enjoyed watching this tutorial. It was great fun making this, and yeah, you can download all the files, the link in the description. And thanks for watching, and please subscribe and leave a comment.